So, how can intelligent transport help us in this regard? Let me deal with road transport first. And I think there are three issues, in a sense, regarding road transport where your industry can help. The first relates to congestion, and the Editing report suggested that it would cost the UK economy £22 billion annually by 2025. That's a huge cost to business, as well as disruption for the ordinary driver and, of course, damage to the environment. The number of cars on the road continues to increase, and there's no sign of that slowing down. And therefore, we have to try to find a way of dealing with congestion sensibly. The traditional solution is to build more and more roads. We've tried that for 100 years. It hasn't worked very well. The Department for Transport's own SATRA report in 1994 demonstrated what many of us instinctively knew, is that if you build more road capacity, you attract more vehicles, and those vehicles make longer journeys. So the idea you can build your way out of problems is frankly a very two-dimensional and discredited idea. Look at Birmingham, which has got perhaps some of the most extensive road building in the country. We're now having concentric circle upon concentric circle of ring road outside the city, and still the congestion is as bad as ever. So can ITS help with that? Secondly, we look at emissions. Another problem from transport, particularly carbon emissions these days. The industry has by and large been very good at dealing with some of the emissions, such as lead or NOxes and SOxes, which are coming down, but there's still obviously a major problem with carbon, and road transport is a predominant source of carbon for the transport sector. The traditional method of dealing with that, two-dimensional, will be to ban something. You can't come in here after a certain number of hours, limited only to small vehicles, lorries are stopped. Those sorts of rather crude mechanisms would have been how emissions would have been dealt with, still are being dealt with in some ways. There has to be a better way. Third issue, of course, is road safety, and here the government's record is quite good. The number of deaths, happily, on our roads is coming down. But again, the traditional method here has been more police. Can we have more police on the streets to catch people speeding? Or can we with your speed camera, I suppose? A bit two-dimensional way, there has to be a better way. I want to make sure we use all the tools in the toolbox to deliver the transport objectives. And I think the technology you bring isn't an end in itself, but it helps deliver the political objectives and transport objectives which we have, and I believe others will have to a large degree as well.